How about Michigan now? The real cost of living here, as I understand it, how do we stack up nationally in stretching our paychecks?
Well, the Bureau of Economic Analysis, which is a part of the Department of Commerce in Washington, for the first time, just in the last couple of years, they've come out with a state-specific price index, a series that we can track year by year, the changes in the cost of living in different parts of the country. We've never had a really good and reliable source of data along those lines until now. What they show is that Michigan is a fairly cheap place to live. I mean, I know this when I talk to my friends in California and New York. My house costs a tiny fraction of what theirs does, even though theirs has fewer square feet because it's in a high cost of living area. But it doesn't actually change the overall picture in terms of where we stand in income, because our per capita income ranks us 35th among the 50 states. And then if you adjust for the cost of living, we actually drop a few slots because most of the other low cost of living places are also lower income. So it doesn't change the rankings. We are still a below average income state regardless of whether you adjust for the price level.
And presumably now, I guess if people want to look at a state and say, I'm looking for a job, I'm not going to look in California and I'm not going to look in New York because whatever I get paid there won't be enough to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, I don't think many people are going to do that. Some might, but if you've got a job, if you're working for a software company and your job that they offer you is in Silicon Valley in Mountain View, California, you're probably not going to say, well, gosh, I won't go to that job because it's expensive there. Because if that's your best job offer, then you're going to go with it. Similarly, if you want to be Michael Patrick Shields, you're probably going to live in mid-Michigan because that's where your job is. So I think this has a modest effect on people's decisions about where to live, but it's not huge. It's not as if everybody's going to leave the high cost of living places and flood into Arkansas.
Is there any way to know which parts of the state are falling below the state average?
Well, we do have county-by-county data on per capita income, and Oakland County is the highest by far. The lowest income places are up in the northern Lower Peninsula, not Leelanau and Grand Traverse counties. Those are affluent, but places like Roscommon County and Lake County, Luce County up in the UP, those are the poorest. Ingham, Eaton, and Clinton here in the mid-Michigan area are not far from the state average. They're more affluent than many counties, but they're not at the very top. Of course, all of those data have to be taken with a grain of salt because look at Oakland County, the most affluent county in the state. Well, Oakland County includes Bloomfield Hills, and it also includes Pontiac, two places with very different standards of living.
How's St. Joe, Benton Harbor, and that part of Michigan doing?
Michael Patrick, I don't have the numbers in front of me. The best of my recollection, that area, Berrien County, was close to the middle of the pack, but I'd have to look that up.
Probably a middle of the pack or maybe a touch below than the average anyway.